Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. For today's video, I wanted to sit down with you guys and I wanted to do a makeup recreation because I haven't done it in a while, and today I'm going to be recreating Sara Ali Khan's signature makeup look. According to me, her signature makeup look is a nice smoky kajal with bare glossy skin and nice tinted lips. This is what she wears pretty often with her Indian wear, which again she wears really often. She has this beautiful collection of easy breezy kurtas that I really love. But this of course is about the makeup. So this is what the makeup looks like. I really like how this has turned out. I feel like this is the perfect everyday look. You can of course tweak it up a little bit by adding or subtracting whatever you prefer or don't prefer, because makeup is super subjective, so you can obviously tweak it up according to your liking. So yes, if you want to know how I got this look, then please keep on watching. We're gonna start off by prepping our skin because Sara's skin is incredible. I don't care how creepy it sounds, but I literally want her skin. Her skin is so beautiful. So I'm gonna start off by using PAC Makeup Moisture Lotion. This has been one of my favorites for a while now. So I'm going to take a nice dollop of that and I'm going to apply it all over my face. So I'm going to warm it up between my fingers and I'm going to massage it all over my skin. This would prep up your skin and would also give your skin a nice glow. It will also ensure that your makeup just glides on smoothly on top of your skin and there are no dry patches on your skin. Especially with a skin type like mine, which is super dry, I can have dry patches. Currently my nose is peeling because of the changing weather. Every single time the weather changes, my skin, especially my nose area, tends to peel a lot. So this helps in just retaining a lot of moisture on my skin. While that is getting absorbed into the skin, I'm going to use my Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Now this would again help in prepping up my lips. Sara generally goes for more satiny shades. What I've seen, it's not super matte, it's not glossy, but it's something in between. So again, a lip balm would really help in prepping up your lips and making sure they look nice, plump and healthy. Coming back to the skin, because the focus of this look is going to be the skin, I'm going to use MAC Strobe Light in the shade Peach Light. Now what this would do is, again, it would not only prep and prime my skin, but would also add a beautiful glow. Another generous dollop of this cream, going to massage it in between my fingers and I'm going to apply it all over my face. Now keep in mind, Sara has glowy skin, not highlighted skin but glowy skin. It looks like she has incredible skin, she drinks water, her skin is just it's so beautiful. I can't get over it. So this would again help us in cheating that so that our skin looks as healthy and glowy as hers. So I'm just gonna apply it all over my face. You have to ensure that you give enough time in between layers. If you go on top of fresh layers too quickly, everything will slip and slide through. Even if you have oily skin, trust me, moisturize. If you don't moisturize, your skin would produce even more oil, which would lead to breaking up of makeup quicker. As you can see right now, my skin is looking so healthy, so glowy. Love it. We're going to move on to foundation. Now it doesn't even look like Sara really wears foundation because of her skin, but we definitely need foundation. So I'm going to be using Clinique Even Better Glow foundation. Now this is a beautiful foundation. As it says, it's a light reflecting makeup foundation. It's just so glowy, so beautiful. I've talked about this so many times on my Instagram, on my YouTube, everywhere. I love this stuff. This is in the shade Ecru, but you can definitely use a BB cream or any other foundation that works for you. Basically, you want to go for a glowy foundation that's not super matte or not super full on coverage. You want to go with something that's slightly lighter on the coverage. Now this does cover up really well, but it looks supremely natural, and that's why this was my choice, like my number one choice for this makeup look. I'm going to start off by taking a little bit of that foundation on the back of my hand. As you can see, I'm struggling a little because I think I will finish this foundation pretty soon. I've not taken a lot, like a small pump squeeze of that, and then I'm just going to use my finger to first smear this all over my face. I'm just dotting it randomly on my face, and then I'm going to take my Zoeva Silk Linen brush and I'm just gonna start buffing and blending this out. I'm just gonna press this into my skin. I'm not moving the foundation a lot, I'm just pressing it like this. As you can see, it just sinks into the skin, and especially because we've prepped our skin so beautifully underneath, the foundation literally glides onto the skin. I'm also going to take this over my eyelid just to neutralize my eyelids a little bit, because I don't want to go heavy with the concealer, and also because we're not going to be using a lot of different eyeshadows. There is no way that the pigmentation can be hidden with eyeshadows, so I'm just going to be taking the foundation all over my eyelid space as well. I love the finish of this foundation. It's so glowy, so beautiful, so natural. Definitely, if you want to splurge on a foundation with all of those qualities, natural, glowy and all of that look into this foundation. It's beautiful. You can still see through some of my imperfections through this foundation, which is the basic idea behind this look. It's about your skin but better. Next up, we're going to move on to concealer, and I'm going to use the Bolly Glow concealer. This is a beautiful concealer. It comes with a corrector that I don't really use. I love the concealer side. It's a medium coverage concealer, has a gel-like consistency, really beautiful. Again, something that we're looking for in this look as well. So I'm just going to apply it right here on my innermost corner and then right here on my outermost corner. We're not going to be going overboard with this. Sarah doesn't really have a lot of highlighted features. Like, she's definitely the bang opposite of what a Kim Kardashian skin looks like. So I'm not going to be highlighting overly today, just a little bit, because she definitely has some, but it's a very natural. So I'm just going to be applying it here, just tiny bit everywhere. Then I'm going to take this brush from PAC that comes in their face kit, and I'm going to start again just pushing this concealer. I'm not spreading it anywhere, I'm just blending it wherever I apply this. Look, again, it looks so natural. It got blended into the foundation so easily, and because the color is not supremely lighter to our skin tone, so it highlights your skin without it looking too overboard. So I'm just going to be blending all of this out and ensuring that our skin is highlighted without it looking highlighted. That is the basic idea of this video. You want to apply makeup without it looking like makeup, except the eye one. Her eyes are really prominently defined. So I'm just going to be pushing this into the skin, making sure the darkest part of our eye is covered so that we look fresh and nice, just like Sarah. Next up comes a little bit of definition. Again, she doesn't do a lot of definition on her skin, but we're going to be using Hoola Quickie Stick by Benefit. Now this is a bronzer contour stick. I'm just going to apply a very tiny amount, very tiny. You definitely don't want to go overboard with this. She again does not have crazily highlighted and contoured features. She has a very natural looking skin. Also, because of her bone structure, it does look like she's naturally contoured, so this is just supposed to enhance that a little. I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty Sculpt and Shade brush, and I'm just going to start blending this. So again, I'm just patting this into the skin. I'm not moving anything. As you can see, I am just taking it back and forth just a little bit. I'm not rubbing the brush against my skin, just patting it, because I want the product to stay where it is without moving the foundation from underneath. So just pat the product into the skin to get the maximum intensity in the right place. We really want to keep it back and nice so that it looks very natural on the skin and it looks like we are naturally bronzed, or we have that natural bone structure that we really don't. At this point, what I like to do is I like to go in with my foundation brush again, and I go on the edges of my bronzer so that if there is any edge that is not blended out perfectly, then this can help that, and it would also make the bronzer look a bit more natural because there would be no certain demarcation from the foundation and the bronzer. Next up, we have blush, and she does really love her blush. She has very rosy complexion as well. So I'm going to take this Pixi Sheer Cheek Gel. Now it looks very dark, very intimidating, but it doesn't come off that way. And what I like to do is I like to take it on the back of my hand, just a nice dollop on the back of my hand, and I like to spread it out on my hand so that it's not concentrated in one place, so it's nice and spread out. And then I like to take my MAC 161 SCS brush, which is a duo fiber brush, and I pick up this product on my brush and I just tap it onto my skin, and I keep it higher up here so that it looks like I have fuller cheeks and I have cheeks that are nice and blushing. And then I take it a little back and I mix it into my bronzer so that it looks like my blush is just going into my bronzer and it's all one and cohesive. Again, I'm not rubbing the brush, I'm just patting the brush into my skin, and it does make a really big difference. I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush, and again I'm going to go on the edges of this blush just to make sure that it's nice and just blend it into my skin and there are no harsh edges. It's true, a no makeup looks take more effort than a normal makeup look, because you have to make something that's there look like it's not there. Now Sarah has very glowy skin, which necessarily does not mean highlighted skin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my strobe cream. I'm just going to pick a very little amount. I'm probably not even going to squeeze it out. I'm just going to take whatever's on top and I'm just going to pat a little bit of that onto my skin just to add a little bit of glow. I'm not going for highlighted skin because she does not wear a lot of highlighter. It just looks like her skin is glowy overall. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that cream and I'm going to hit my cheekbones with that. I know a lot of you guys must be thinking this makeup won't last even for a minute because it's not set with powder. So we're gonna set it with powder. I'm gonna use the Lakme 905 Natural Finishing Powder. The reason why I'm choosing this is because if you can see, it has a hint of sheen to it. It's not shimmery. It has a beautiful sheen to it so that it adds a little bit of glow to your makeup. Generally, when you're powdering your skin, it can take away the glow. Whereas this one on the other side, it adds a little bit of glow to your skin. So you can powder all over your face with this one without hampering the work that you've done underneath to get that glow. I'm going to be using my NYX 05 brush, which is just a small brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little bit of this powder, dusting off the excess. I'm just going to press it underneath my eyes first so that my under eyes are nice and set and they do not budge or crease for a longer period of time. Just doing that, and then I'm also going to apply this on my smile lines because again with my smile lines they tend to crease really quickly. At this point, if you are from the oily family, what I would say is just swirl your brush on the cap where you have a little bit of your powder, not a lot, just a little bit. Tap off the excess and just go all over your skin, and you don't need to worry again about the glow because this does have a nice sheen to it, so it won't hamper the glow. It's time to do the brows, and Sarah's brows are pretty interesting. She has a lot of growth on the under part as well, and her brows look like they've not been filled in, but she naturally has really bushy and nice and thick eyebrows. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take this LA Girl matte eyeliner. This is a pen eyeliner. This is in a brown variant, and I'm just going to create flicking motions on my brow. So I'm not really filling in my brows, but I'm just adding a little bit of hair to my brows wherever they are sparse so that I can have natural brows that are thick and luscious and nice. So I'm just going to add a couple of hair strokes wherever I feel I need them. Now this definitely does depend on your brow type as well. I have brows that can handle a little bit of brow strokes. I know people who have like really thick eyebrows which are like you can't even do an ombre eyebrow on them because the hair is just everywhere. So if you have those sort of brows, then definitely just apply an eye gel and just push your hair up if you want to get that bushy brow effect. But if you have eyebrows that are like mine, which do have a little bit of sparse areas here and there, you can just simply use a brown matte eyeliner in a pen shape and just create some hair strokes. Now because we've not really filled in our eyes to define them, I need a little bit of more volume for my eyebrows. So I'm going to use Benefit's Gimme Brow. This adds a lot of volume to your hair. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush my hair upwards because I want them to look nice and bushy just like hers. So I'm just going to comb my brows upwards and I'm going to leave it like that so that even when they fall down, they have a little bit of nice volume to them. And we're not going to be defining the top part of our brows. Her brows are not defined on the top, and even on the bottom they're not really defined. She does have really nice brows that are really nice and shaped. So I'm just going to be combing my brows up just like that. I'm going to leave them like that so that they look nice and bushy. Now coming to my eyes, I'm not going to really prime them today because we're not going to do something that's super extravagant. I'm just going to go back in with my concealer brush and I'm going to ensure that there are no creases on my eye. I'm not picking any extra product. I am just using this brush to make sure that my eye is nice and crease free. The eyeshadow palette I'm going to use today is NYX Perfect Filter eyeshadow palette in the shade Golden Hour. You need an eyeshadow palette that's pretty basic, which has some browns that are near to your skin and deeper than your skin. That's all you need. You can use any basic neutral eyeshadow palette and you'll be fine. I particularly really like this one because the colors are easy to use. The mattes are nice and creamy. So I'm going to start off by using a shade that's near to my skin tone, which is going to be this one right here with a flat shader brush. This is the PAC 374 brush, and I'm just going to pack this color all over my eyelid. What this is going to do is it's going to create a nice wash of color all over my eyelid. I'm going to blend this color above my crease as well. I will deepen up my crease, but what I'm doing here is I'm not only using this color as a soft color all over my lid, but this would also act as a transition shade between the deeper color in the crease. So I'm just going to be washing this color all over my eyelid, and I'm just going to blend it really higher up so that it literally just disappears into my skin color. This is I think about 3 or 4 shades darker than my skin color, and that is the sort of color you want to go for because it would create a nice wash of color all over your eyelid. Next up, I want to move on to this darker brown shade with the pointer blender brush. This is the Sedona EB15 brush, dusting off the excess, and I'm just going to deepen up my crease with this color so that I have some definition in my eye. I'm first just placing this color, and then you want to really buff it out. So once you've placed the color, go back in with your first brush and really buff and blend it out and ensure that it's almost blended into the previous color, but with a hint of definition. You see how that beautifully gives a very soft definition to the eyes? It just deepens up the crease, but it looks so natural. Next, I'm going to move on to Kajal because Kajal is her main focal point. And I'm going to use the PAC Long Lasting Kohl Pencil in the black variant. It's a beautiful Kajal. And I'm just going to apply it on my waterline. And I'm also going to tight line with this because she does seem to have a tight line going on, which also ensures that your lashes look thick. And because she doesn't wear falsies so often, which honestly, like, I don't even know how I'm gonna go through this without falsies. I feel incomplete without falsies. Going back in with the darker brown shade, I am gonna smoke out my lower lash line. I'm gonna ensure that the black is nice and smoky and blended into the darker brown, and I'm gonna connect it to my upper eye. Now she only has kajal lined eyes. She doesn't have like a full rimmed eye. On most days she just wears kajal, so I'm not gonna be doing a soft smoky upper lash line, but I'm just gonna keep it on my lower lash line. You see how just one shadow can change the whole look. Just smoking it out, giving it 20 extra seconds can make a look so elevated. So I'm just going to be doing the same thing to the other eye. It's time for mascara, and because we're not going to be wearing falsies, you need to use a bomb mascara. I'm thinking in between a Bad Gal Bang and Flower Lash Warrior mascara. I think I might just layer them up. I don't know. I'm going to start with Flower Lash Warrior mascara, and I'm just going to apply it on my top and bottom lashes, both making sure that I really focus on the base of the lash, like the root of the lash, and then I wiggle my way up. When you focus on your roots, it just adds a lot of volume to the base of the lash, which just makes your lash look fat and thick. So I'm just gonna be making sure that my base gets all of the love, and then I'm just gonna wiggle my way up. Another quick tip: when you're working on your outer half of lashes, make sure you are going towards your brow, like the tail, like that, so that your lashes get a little bit of lift towards this side. But when you're working on your inner half, just lift them up straight. This would give them maximum volume and your lashes would look really big. That actually looks pretty damn good, so I'm just gonna stick to the Flower Lash Warrior mascara. It's a really nice mascara, and I'm just gonna repeat that same step on the other eye, just focusing on my roots first so that I get nice volume, and then for my outer half, gonna push it out towards my tail, and for my inner half, gonna push it up towards my brow. And for my lower lash line, I'm literally just gonna coat it normally, no hullabaloo. Finishing it off with the lips now, because she is Maybelline's brand ambassador, I thought let's use some Maybelline lipsticks. I'm using the Power Mattes in the shade Plum Perfect, and I'm also using Daringly Nude from some other range. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick this up on my finger, just like that, and I'm going to put it on my lips like a tint. I am not going with the bullet directly, but just using my fingers to do the needful. You know what, I actually like this color just by itself, so we're going to skip on the Daringly Nude. I'm just going to stay with this color, and I'm just going to layer it up a little bit more because I want a little bit more pigmentation. And with that, we finished this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you didn't, don't forget to comment and subscribe. I feel like this is the perfect everyday quintessential Indian girl makeup look. You can obviously switch up the base to whatever you prefer or no base at all. This would look equally good without a base as well, but I love how this has turned out. Also, let me know if there's any other look you guys would want me to recreate from any other celebrity or maybe even from Sarah. I would love to know your opinions, and yes, I'll see you guys next time. Till then, stay safe, stay home. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.